From my backyard. Beautiful. I just wanted to pop in and give you guys a chance to ask me any questions that you are curious about or that have been knocking around in your head and you just haven't found answers. I'm open to questions about functional medicine, the integrative approach that functional medicine takes, energy healing, anything and everything really. Whatever you want to ask about, I am here to answer. So, just while people like pop in, I wanted to talk to you really about the energetics of healing, actually, and really bring some scientific background to that. So, it actually is very possible for people to heal themselves with just their minds alone. And I know there's the entire structure of Western medicine that would completely disagree, but we actually have peer-reviewed studies that prove otherwise. And this work is being done all over the world, showing that people with people doing certain types of meditations on a daily basis that help them to change their lives and change their energetic vibration and imprint then translates to spontaneous healings, miraculous healings, and or just, like healing over time for things that they were told that would never be possible. On my podcast, I've featured, excuse me, several guests that have healed their MS, that have healed their RA, that have healed many chronic conditions that have no Western medicine cure. They have healed themselves of these things. So it is possible, and I wanted you to be able to ask me any questions that you want. So if you're watching right now, let me know that you're here. Say hello, give me a wave. And I assume if you're watching me, then you know where to find me, but in case you don't, I'm at Dr. Lara May on Facebook, Instagram, um, Clubhouse, YouTube, and also Telegram. So I should update this. I'm not often on Clubhouse, but I do have a platform on there. So, anyway, so back to how healing with your mind and healing with energetics actually works. So, we're going to dive into a little bit of science here if you're okay with that. Every cell has three major components, or every atom. Let's start with the atom first. Every atom has three major components: an electron, a proton, a neutron. These components create a magnetic field around each atom. And within every single thing on this planet, whether it's a pen or a card deck or your cell phone or your physical body, all of these things made up of trillions and millions and billions and zillions of atoms creates a vibration and a charge. So I'm sure you're aware that sound has a frequency, and a sound wave can go like this. Sorry, I should come up with something that, like, when I do that, it draws a wavy light. That would be cool. Um, or also, light can be a particle or a wave. So seeing a laser beam is actually seeing light behaving as a particle, versus when we observe the sunlight, that is actually light being perceived as a wave. But regardless, all of these things have a frequency. So with the concept of sound, the frequency can be slow or fast, and depending on whether the frequency is slow or fast, you'll get a different tone. You'll hear a different tone. So the same is actually true for our thoughts, our feelings, and what are these things do? Our thoughts and our feelings create our actions and then our results. So one stands to reason that if we change the vibration of our thoughts and change the vibration of our feelings, then our actions and results will be different. And then therefore we will create a different future for ourselves, a different reality for ourselves. And hey, hi there. Someone just said hi, saying hi back. So I want you guys to really, take a moment to like take this in and think about it. It's kind of mind-blowing that it seems so simple, but yet it is, it could be construed as uh co- complicated as well, because I'm sure you're going to say, well, Lara, how can I change my thoughts? How can I change my feelings? Isn't what's going on around me creating my feelings? Well, yes and no, but the ultimate answer is actually no. You have the choice to create your thoughts and feelings in every one moment. So, in theory, like really what happens is we have a circumstance. Like my circumstance right now is that I am here talking to you. And I'm having different thoughts about it in my head as I'm sitting here talking to you. I'm like, no one's asking any questions yet, or man, I hope I don't sound or look stupid, different thoughts. And that those thoughts are creating feelings of excitement because I'm here and I love interacting with all of you, or also maybe a little insecurity. So those are the feelings. And then the action right now is that I just keep going and I keep bringing you information. And I'm hoping that I'll say something that will spur a question from one of you, or a thought, or inspiration, even if it's inspiration to go look some of this up and be like, "Is she for real or is she just full of it?" So, I love for you guys to be inspired to go figure this stuff out for yourself. I'm here as a guide. I love helping people evolve and change and create new habits and create new ways of thinking that create new realities for themselves, but ultimately it's you guys doing the work. I'm just the guide. So I'm happy that you're here and I want to know what is the work that you're doing and how I can help you with it. So anyway, back to this whole like bringing the woo woo into the physical, the reality, the scientific truth of it. So we have atoms, we have electrons, protons, neutrons all circling around, creating the magnetic field, creating frequency eventually. And so when you have a thought, like I said earlier, like, oh, I'm feeling a little insecure, that's not really a great thought or a feeling, and so that's like lowering the vibration. So with sound, that would be a longer frequency, if I remember my physics correctly. But if I change that and I think, wow, I'm putting myself out there, I am here opening myself up to questions and providing some sort of resource for my audience, for any of you out there that need support or need help, that feels really good. And that raises my vibration. And when you raise your vibration, everything around you reacts to the vibration that you're putting out. So it is scientifically impossible unless you're in a vacuum. So, and that's so what's so funny about so much science that we learn in school. All of these things that we're taught, a lot of them are only true if they're in a created vacuum. In reality, in this earth, on this planet that we live in, everything is interacting with everything else all the time. Your energetic field is reacting with my energetic field, even just through this video right now. And that's because energy transcends time and space, which is also why remote healing works. So if you signed up with me or another energy practitioner for a remote session, it's going to work. The energy is going to reach you because energy transcends time and space. And if I have the intention to send it out to you and you have the intention to receive it, so it is a two-way street, then there will be a shift in the vibration and a shift in the energy. And if that lines up and you're open to receiving and opening to the greatest possibility possible, then a miraculous healing is possible. So I think that's super exciting. And I just want to hear your guys' thoughts about that. Do you still think I'm crazy? Do you still think it's like not true or it's hokey? All of those things are fine, but I encourage you, because there's plenty of proof and research out there to reinforce what I'm saying. So one of the ways that I practice energy medicine is through Reiki. There are other ways to practice energy medicine too, but the concept is the same, is that again, with intention, we create a certain energetic vibration. So whether it's if you're wanting to be more open to love and attract a mate or a relationship of love, then, I work with my clients to really flesh out what that means to that client and get clear, because that clarity really adds momentum and specificity to that vibration. And so when they're clear about what they want the relationship to look like, what they want the relationship to bring in, then they put out that vibration to the world. And it is scientific law that what you put out, you will receive back. That eventually will come if you practice that vibration on a regular basis. So, here's, I think, a missing key that, especially when in the woo-woo world we talk about manifestation, that's oftentimes missed, is you can't just write it down once or meditate on it once and then be like, "Okay, all right, universe, do all the rest of the work for me." No, it actually requires you to be committed to practicing that vibration consistently enough that that becomes your main vibration all the time, every day. And then when it's consistent, then the universe responds because it recognizes it. Otherwise, it's more of just like a blip. It could be like a squall storm that comes up. It's super fast. It just moves through. It doesn't make any lasting change on the environment, right? But let's say, since I brought up the weather analogy, let's talk about a hurricane maybe or a snowstorm. Those types of weather events do make an impact on the environment because they last. They bring that vibration in, and it pours down, and it creates a change in the area around it, the environment around it. And so it's the same with your vibration when you are wanting to manifest something. So let's say you're wanting to heal a chronic condition. The best thing you can do for yourself, honestly, the first step and best step and most powerful thing is create a meditation practice where you are practicing the vibration of being healthy. So what does that look like to you? What does healthy look like to you? It should look different to everyone. Do you wanna have more energy? Do you wanna have more mental clarity? Do you wanna have better sleep? Do you wanna have better eating habits? Do you wanna have more movement and exercise in your life? Do you wanna actually be able to enjoy exercise? Whatever it is for you, I encourage you, excuse me, goodness, to get clear and do yourself the favor of getting clear about what does healthy look like for you? What does being well feel like? So not only look like, but what does it feel like? So then when you're in your vibration or I'm sorry, in your meditation, then once you have calmed yourself, you've for the most part quieted the mind. It's almost impossible to quiet the mind completely, but you quiet the mind, and then you bring in this intention of, okay, I am embodying the energetic vibration of health. I'm embodying the energetic vibration of energetic, of lively, of vibrant, whatever it is. So I encourage you sometime, at least once, to write down a list of what will it look like for you and what will it feel like for you. And really, you only need to do it once, because if you're going to practice this vibration, then you want to get clear on that one thing and then repeat it over and over and over until you start to see things change in your life. And you will. The universe will bring you synchronicities, it'll bring you opportunities, it'll bring you support, it'll bring you resources. It will bring the change into your life in the highest and best way, and probably better than you can ever imagine, honestly. And that's the fun of it. That's why manifesting is fun. That's why creating change in your life is fun, because you have a goal, you have an idea of what could be better in your life and for yourself, and then you get to create it. And it's super easy and restful and uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, fulfilling, when you do it through meditation. You feel better after meditation, you're more clear, you're ready to meet the day. Maybe you do it at sometimes I do mine at lunchtime where I need a reset, and I've found that most days when I do a meditation on my lunch break at work, I don't need that afternoon coffee. Like, that re-energizes me, that refills me up, that refuels me. So I'm so happy that you guys joined me today. It was great to see all of you that tuned in. Next time, I hope you come with your questions. And as you watch this, feel free in the replay to type in questions and comments. And I'm happy to answer them and bring them to the next Q&A. So I love you all. I hope you're feeling and doing fabulous. And I will catch you on the flip side.